Hey guys, welcome to BLONITY. First, my little disclaimer, this is not financial advice, my own opinion and estimates. My estimates could be completely wrong. Don't trust, always verify, understand the numbers, be aware of scammers, and you know the best how to invest your money. Please be aware that I'm invested in HIVE Blockchain technologies, and this video is about this company and their latest financials of Q1 2022. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So, as you probably know, HIVE has another fiscal year. It's not the calendar year. So, the Q1 2022 is from April to June 2021. 2 weeks ago, we got the financials from January to March. So, that's very interesting now to compare these. That's what we're going to do right now. Let's zoom a little bit in because people were complaining that it's always too small. I hope you can see it. It's difficult to make it much larger. So the last one were $33.4 million in revenue from digital currency mining. But we should not forget that there's another revenue. We have hosting revenue here of 400,000. So if we add this here, it's close to 34,000. But more interesting is the Q1 2022. So that's $37.2 million from mining. So HIVE is mining Ethereum and Bitcoin. But the hosting revenue has gone up also very much. So it's 4 times higher than in the quarter before. I think they're using the space, what they have in New Brunswick there. They don't have all the miners there, so they do hosting there. I think this is smart. They do also hosting in Lachute, I think. Maybe Lachute not anymore because that was the Foundry miners they bought from Foundry, I think. Yeah, but we will see. Of course, here is the hosting revenue 1.7, and so it's $39 million here, the revenue, which is big. The operating and maintenance costs 6.2 million, so a little bit higher than the quarter before, but they also had more miners online. So I think overall per kilowatt hour it should be cheaper than this quarter. Because they received a lot of new Bitcoin miners in that quarter here, installed them. So, the costs have not gone up here much. Depreciation has gone up because of more miners online for sure. So the gross profit here, the gross mining margin is $31 million. So that is huge. That is number one compared to the peers here again. So these quarters are really were incredible for HIVE Blockchain, in my opinion, in terms of profitability. Gross mining margin, again, 83%. And the gross margin here, 65%. So gross margin is with the depreciation included. So that's very nice, I think. The revaluation gain of digital currencies, so that's a loss here. We have seen Ethereum in that quarter. Let's go to Ethereum. At the beginning of April, it was approximately, let's say 1,800 or so US dollars. Not exactly, but end of June, it was at, a little bit higher, 1,900 to 2,000. So there was a gain, a revaluation gain. But that is very interesting because Bitcoin dropped huge at that time from 56,000 to something like 33,000. So Bitcoin lost something like 25,000 US dollars in that 3 months, but Ethereum has risen from 1,800 to 2,000 or so. Not exactly, but that's also a sign, how bullish, the market is on Ethereum, because they decoupled a little bit, to be honest. Okay, so huge drop in the Bitcoin price. In Ethereum price, more or less the same, a little bit more, but the Bitcoins on the balance sheet, that's why they have this revaluation loss. But others with only Bitcoin on the balance sheet, like HIVE, Bitfarms, or Mara or Riot, they had a huge revaluation loss here of 50 million or more, for example, HIVE. But in the next quarter, it will be up again. So that's it's always changing every quarter. But here it was good to have more Ethereum on the balance sheet at this point here. They sold also again digital currencies. I hope more Ether Classic than Ethereum. But I mean, Ethereum was at 4,500. I think maybe that was the time when they triggered some sells here. I can understand it. Yeah, then they have the bigger hosting revenue. As I understand it from the last call when Frank Holmes said, I think in New Brunswick they're hosting a lot of miners there until they get their own miners, I think. But yeah, that's more or less speculation right now. Then we have this share-based compensation. That's a little bit bigger here this time. The G&A, the general expenses have gone down. I think that is very good, despite Nasdaq uplisting. So maybe we will see a rise in the next quarter, maybe not, because yeah, this is very small here compared to the peers. Yeah, they have something like 5 to 10 million US dollars here in general expenses, but I think they include the peers included the share-based compensation here. So yeah, maybe it's better to say they have 4.6 million here. Yeah, but overall very small here for an exchange gain. No one cares about this. Unrealized gain on investments. So this is also a loss here. They have investment in tokens.com. The company from Andrew Kigel, he's the CEO there. And we have DeFi Technologies, also an investment here with 10 million shares. This share swap agreement they have. And yeah, this is with Olivier Russi-Newton there, for example. He's also on the HIVE board. Yeah, and of course these stocks dropped, these investments. Let's go first to DeFi. DeFi had an incredible rise there, but in April it was at 173. It has gone down to something like 0.8. So yeah, it halved. And yeah, but now it's up. So yeah, that next time it should be a big gain here, of course. Then we have we have the other company. This is tokens.com. This performed not very well. I don't know exactly. So I think they made the investment before they gone public. Yeah, but this one dropped too. So I think that's why they have here a loss here of 4.8 million. Gain loss on sale of subsidiary. I think this is it has also to do with still with Colos here. They made some money. I hope this is now gone. I think there was another transaction in May here where they received some money. Not 100% sure, but yeah, that should be now the last position about Colos in my opinion, or I hope so. Okay, but despite these losses on these investments and on the revaluation here, we have still a positive net income of 18.5 million. We have an EBITDA of 26 million. So this is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. So yeah, you can to the net income you can add, for example, the depreciation here. And the finance expense, for example, then you should be somewhere here. And then we have the adjusted EBITDA. I think this is without the revaluation or so, or with the revaluation on top. Yeah, so great numbers. Great numbers. We cannot complain. Better than the last quarter in all numbers here. Bigger net income, bigger EBITDA, and adjusted EBITDA. So HIVE delivered again. It took a while, yes, of course, but yeah, I mean it's now 3 months gone. So yeah, it's I think that the last quarter is more interesting, which ended 2 days ago, and the question is how much money did they made in from July to September. So first, let's check the electricity prices here. For example, in Sweden, we have Nord Pool here, the monthly average prices. So what we see right now in the world is that electricity prices, gas prices, oil prices, all energy and all the other stuff, of course, is going up. They say it's because of this and that and because of the virus and so on. I think the biggest part is the money printing. They don't tell you, but that's the reason. And yeah, that's why we see inflation everywhere. But that's another topic. What I want to say here is that we can see in Sweden here that the prices have gone up here. In Europe, per megawatt hour, 50 to 55 euros. But this is very moderate. I've checked US and Canada and so on. Yeah, somewhere we have a lot higher spikes here. Also, HIVE has some hedging agreements. I think they bought electricity futures on the spot exchange and so on. So they hedged very well, I guess. But I think overall the operating and maintenance costs, they could go up in this quarter and of course in the next one because of this situation right now. So that's for sure. By the way, Sweden has, I think, 4 regions. We are in SE1 for HIVE Blockchain. I can show you here. So yeah, Sweden is divided in these different regions here. Let's check this here. So the north is SE1, then SE2, SE3, and SE4. SE1 is most of the time is the cheapest one because there they have a lot of hydropower but not a lot of population and not that big production. Here it's more expensive when we come closer to Germany here, for sure. Okay, but let's go back here. So electricity prices will go up at least a bit. What's also very interesting for HIVE is always the MDNA. So here they are very precise now what kind of hash rate they have, in which facility, how many megawatts. So overall, I counted 70.5 megawatts right now operational for the self-mining. And 1.1 exahash for Bitcoin mining hash rate. So in Lachute, they have 495 petahash, and in New Brunswick, they have 600 petahash. In New Brunswick, 23 megawatt. In Lachute, 27 megawatts. There they have still some S9s running there. That's why the efficiency is a little bit lower there. In Sweden, they have now 3.3 gigahash, which is an increase as I'm aware of. I think because of 4 gigabyte, 8 gigabyte, and maybe they bought some new cards. Mining Ethereum there with 17 megawatts. And in Iceland, they have right now 550 gigahash with 3.5 megawatts of power. In Iceland, they say they have Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. So I'm not sure whether all these 550 gigahash can go into Ethereum mining. But if we add these 3.3 and these 0.55, this would be 3.85 terahash in ether mining capacity. I'm calculating right now with 3.5, 3.6 because I think there are still some 4 gigabyte chips out there. But that's an increase and that's very good. So 1.1 exahash in Bitcoin mining, and in Ethereum mining, Ether mining, 3.5 to 3.8, something like this. In this quarter, from April to June, I forgot to mention, they mined here 225 Bitcoin and 9,700 Ethereum. So Ether mining is going down hard in the absolute terms, because of EIP 1559. A lot of the transaction fees is burned, so it's going down significantly for HIVE Blockchain. And people are asking me, why is the stock price not taking off and so on. First of all, I think we are still very early in this game, and the stock prices, and that's what also Wes Fulford, the former CEO of Bitfarms, and now he's with Verity Funds, confirmed. He said, I'm waiting for a time when these stock prices are not made from stock tweets, but more from calculations or from the financials. And I think we're not here anymore. I think what's make the prices right now is big announcement of, we're gonna have 20 exahash in 2025 or so. No one cares whether you can get there, but that's when the price moves up. I think HIVE hasn't made these big announcements. We're gonna have like 20 exahash or so next year, but they're really delivering. I mean, the financials look very good. They're adding new miners, they're buying new miners, and so on. And I think a major reason why HIVE, but first of all, I have to say that the most miners have not performed in the last few months. When you look at Argo, it looks worse than the HIVE Blockchain stock, to be honest. Bitfarms, looks a little bit better. HUD8 HUD8 had really a great run. But when we go to Riot looks also not good. So Mara looks a little bit better maybe. So I would not say that HIVE underperformed compared to the peers. There are some they perform better because of different reasons, and some they performed worse. HIVE is not in a special position there, because Bitcoin price has gone down, Ethereum price has gone down, so that's why the stock has gone down. But I think a major reason is also, despite these great financial, is always the Ethereum topic with proof of stake. When do they go to proof of stake? First of all, I read an article. They say we're going end of October to proof of stake. So I don't know. That's always a possibility. Maybe we going to proof of stake a lot later. I don't think it's going to happen in end of October, but we will see. The GPUs will not be worthless. They can do other stuff with this. I don't know how profitable this is, but HIVE Blockchain is focusing right now on Bitcoin mining with 1.1 exahash, with approximately 3 exahash next year disclosed, and I think they will be a lot higher at the end of next year. So it's going to be a major Bitcoin miner with some HPC or Ether mining or Ether Classic mining. And they can let the Ether work they have on the balance sheet. I think they have something like 20,000, maybe more right now. Yeah, they're not staking them right now, but maybe they will do in the future. But on the other side, I think Ethereum has such a huge growth potential, like Curtis Lucas also said, that, I mean, if you hodl these 20,000 Ether, or maybe 24,000 or so, and Ethereum goes to 20, 30,000 or so in the next 2 years, I mean, that's a huge gain there, a huge income. Maybe you have to do nothing with them and just hodl. I mean, look at the chart. It's going parabolic here, and I think this is not the end here for Ethereum. So, in my opinion, HIVE is undervalued. Great financials, always the cost on revenue are very low, so always a good gross mining margin. Yeah, and for the people they are complaining they're not transparent and so on, I will say that you should go to the financials, to Setter here, and read from September 27th here, the revised annual information form. I've read the biggest part of it. It's a lot of text here. For example, you can see here the power contracts and economic dependence here for the facility in Sweden. Here they say they have like 8.5 megawatt fixed here in the power purchase agreement. The rest is on the spot market. For the Iceland facility here in Quebec, Lachute, here they say the costs are below 0.0346 Canadian dollar per kilowatt hour, so very cheap. What's also interesting here, that they're talking about these 12.1 Canadian dollars per kilowatt they have to pay. And yeah, I think not a lot of miners are talking about this, but I think they all have to pay it. I mean, in Germany here, we have to pay somewhere like 100 euro per kilowatt or so. This is the maximum power you need in 1 year. So let's say at one day you have like 75 megawatts, and all the other day you have only 10 megawatts. You have to pay for the whole year the fee of the 75 megawatts. So that's 75,000 multiplied with 12 Canadian dollars here, because at one day in 1 hour you used the grid for 75, and that's why they have to build the grid for the whole year, of course, for you. That's the capacity. And that's, I think, what all miners have to pay, and that's why I think the operational costs are often higher than we expect, because it's not only the energy of 4 cents or so, it's also the power capacity there. They have to pay for the grid. Same here in New Brunswick. Here, the costs are a little bit higher here. It seems like 5.5 Canadian dollars cents per kilowatt hour. And also the power charge here is at 14.8 Canadian dollar per kilowatt. So what I want to say here's a lot of information about HIVE Blockchain, also about all their contracts here and so on. So if you're interested and if you want to more transparency, I mean, it's not, I haven't seen such a transparency anywhere. So go in there and read it. Okay, so I want to talk about the future of HIVE Blockchain. So first of all, the last quarter, Yeah, they were talking about a run rate of 200 million a year. So I think this quarter from July to September, the revenue should be close to 50 million US dollars there. Let's say 50 million US dollars. The operational costs will go up a bit, let's say to 10 million or so, but that's still a gross mining margin of 80%. And a huge revenue of, yeah, let's say 50 million US dollars. Yeah, right now, today, they with Ether mining here with 3.5 terahash in revenue side, 233,000 US dollars. On the Bitcoin mining here, 350. So they're very close to 600,000 a day. So yeah, I think right now they're making more. They have a higher than these 200 million US dollar run rate a year. So if you have today like multiplied with 365, you would be, yeah, approximately a little bit above 200 million US dollars. So yeah, let's expect the 50 million there, maybe a little bit less because the miners haven't gone online all. But yeah, when I go to my model, I think in quarter from January to March, they had approximately 300 petahash online for Bitcoin mining, but they increased from 300 to I think 900 to 1000 petahash or 1 exahash. So they increased by 600 or 700 petahash within this quarter from April to June. And yeah, because I track this stuff here daily, and if I did it correct, it should be approximately 850 to 900 petahash for these 90 days on average. So that's huge compared to the 360 I have for this quarter from January to March. So wait a second, I have to check this. Yeah, that's correct here. HIVE, yeah, they started at 300. So that's a huge increase in Bitcoin mining. Ether mining is going down because of EIP 1559 and potentially in the future because of proof of stake. But there will be always a job for the GPUs. I think the Ether they have on the balance sheet will go to the moon when we go to proof of stake. So I think overall HIVE should be impacted positive. So yeah, I mean, that's great results for HIVE, and I don't know when the stock price will pick up. Maybe they need a bigger room at StockTwits or some other chats there. I think yeah, there are no delayed financials anymore, so I hope the next one will be on time. I think I think the annual financials they took very long, maybe with this Colos disposal they had there and so on. But I think they should be now on time in the next few filings. I hope so. And yeah, I mean, the stock hopefully goes up then. Let's see where Bitcoin and Ethereum is going. Okay, guys, so that's it for HIVE Blockchain. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.